Thank you! Oh my gosh! Dad! Wow.
After Kraven the Hunter, Aaron Taylor Johnson might be gearing up for a comeback in Kick-Ass 3. It looks like the reboot is officially happening, so let's break down what's on the horizon for the trilogy and the chances of seeing the original cast back in action. Here's everything we know so far. Even though fans have been hoping for Kick-Ass 3 for over a decade, the franchise is currently getting a reboot. Aaron Taylor Johnson will return as Dave Lizewski, an ordinary high schooler who becomes a real-life superhero inspired by his comic book obsession. Chloë Grace Moretz will also be back as Mindy McCready, aka Hit Girl, who definitely outshines Kick-Ass with her impressive combat skills. The Kick-Ass films were ahead of their time, offering a smart twist on superhero cliches. Before movies like Deadpool and Logan showed that R-rated superhero flicks could be hits, Kick-Ass was already proving that graphic violence and crude humor could work in this genre. While Kick-Ass 2 didn't hit the same heights as the original, it did well enough to keep talks of a sequel alive. With director Matthew Vaughn having been busy with the Kingsman series, Kick-Ass had been put on hold. But now, Vaughn is once again focusing on bringing Kick-Ass back into the spotlight. Since mid-2023, we've known a new Kick-Ass project was in the works, but the latest buzz is that Matthew Vaughn has big plans for a Kick-Ass reboot trilogy. The genius behind the original film is back on board, and he's cooking up not one, but 3 fresh Kick-Ass movies to completely reboot the classic comic series. And get this, the first film, tentatively titled Fight School, has already wrapped up filming. Right now, the sequel is expected to be called Vram, while the third movie will stick with the original name Kick-Ass. Vaughn's still working on the script for the third film, and he hasn't spilled the beans on who will be in it, what the story will be about, or when we can expect the first movie to hit theaters. During his recent panel at New York Comic-Con, Vaughn shed some light on his plans. He confirmed that he's moving forward with the reboot and aiming to start filming in 2024. However, he also mentioned that the original characters won't be making a comeback in this new version. According to Vaughn, the reboot will be a fresh take, and he's keeping the details under wraps for now. He teased that while none of the original cast members will return for these new films, there's a possibility they might show up in future installments. Vaughn stated, "Next year we're rebooting Kick-Ass and we're making Kingsman 3. Kick-Ass sort of changed people's perception of what a superhero film is at that time, so we're doing it again." He also mentioned that the reboot will introduce a completely new cast and a new set of core characters. This means that familiar faces from the first 2 films, including Chloë Grace Moretz's Hit Girl and Christopher Mintz-Plasse's Red Mist, won't be part of this new direction. Vaughn is aiming to reshape the superhero genre again with a brand new ensemble, though the core Kick-Ass character might still make a return or be referenced in some way. So while we're getting a whole new take on the franchise, it's clear that Vaughn's keeping the spirit of the original films alive. In 2023, Matthew Vaughn confirmed a new Kick-Ass project, but details were scarce. Fast forward to early 2024, and Vaughn has cleared things up with an extensive plan for a Kick-Ass reboot trilogy, starting with the first film, Fight School. While the trilogy is confirmed, we don't have a release date for Fight School just yet. Instead of a direct sequel to the original films, Vaughn is rebooting the franchise entirely with a new trilogy that aims to delve deeper into the Kick-Ass universe. The first film, Fight School, has already been shot, but Vaughn hasn't shared much about the story or how it will relate to the original comics. Given that this is a reboot, it might revisit the origin of Dave Lizewski as he transforms from a regular teen into a superhero. However, the story could also explore other elements. In the comics, after Lizewski steps down, Patience Lee took up the Kick-Ass mantle, so there's potential for the trilogy to cover both characters or create a new narrative that combines elements from both. The second film is tentatively titled Vram, though this could change as the series develops. Vaughn also revealed that the third film will be called Kick-Ass and is currently being written. It's not clear yet how the trilogy format will shape the story, or if it will be an extended origin arc that wraps up with the third film. Since the first movie hasn't been released, all future plans are still up in the air. Overall, this reboot trilogy aims to shake up the superhero genre in the same way the original Kick-Ass did back in 2010. Even though Chloë Grace Moretz won't be reprising her role as Hit Girl in the new Kick-Ass reboot, Matthew Vaughn has hinted that there could be future opportunities for the character once the reboot trilogy is underway. If the reboot makes waves, it could pave the way for a broader Kick-Ass universe, possibly bringing Moretz back as an older Hit Girl in future installments. While this is all speculative for now, it's possible that a successful reboot might encourage former co-stars like Nicolas Cage and Aaron Taylor Johnson to return in some capacity. For Kick-Ass 3 itself, though, Moretz won't be part of the action. On the flip side, one exciting possibility for Aaron Taylor Johnson in Kick-Ass 3 is having him return as an older, mentor-like version of Dave Lizewski. While Taylor Johnson has been busy with his Marvel roles, including his upcoming appearance as Kraven the Hunter in Sony's Spider-Man universe, this could be a cool way to reconnect with his Kick-Ass roots. Taylor Johnson's recent roles have shifted away from the original Kick-Ass character, showing off his range as an action star, particularly in Bullet Train. Given this, seeing him step back into the Kick-Ass world as a seasoned veteran could offer a fresh twist. The comics have explored what happens as Kick-Ass matures, and with the potential for new heroes inspired by Dave's legacy, it would be intriguing to see the Taylor Johnson cameo as an older, more experienced Kick-Ass. If Vaughn's reboot incorporates elements from the original films, Taylor Johnson's return in this role could provide a meaningful connection to the past, blending nostalgia with new adventures. If Vaughn's new Kick-Ass project ties into the previous movies, it could offer a unique opportunity to integrate Taylor Johnson's older Dave Lizewski into the story. This could be done in a couple of ways. For instance, Dave could be portrayed as a mentor to a younger hero, guiding them with his seasoned experience while also dealing with the challenges of having left his vigilante days behind. This approach would not only honor the character's journey, but also acknowledge how the superhero world evolves over time. Another possibility is for Taylor Johnson to appear in a cameo or flashback, providing a nod to the past while setting the stage for a new generation of heroes. Given how the Kick-Ass comics explored the idea of successors and copycats, it would make sense to see Dave's legacy continue in some form. This could serve as a bridge between the old and new, allowing fans to appreciate the character's growth and how he's inspired others. In any case, incorporating Taylor Johnson as an older Kick-Ass would add depth to the reboot and connect it to the original films. It could also help in bridging the gap between the familiar and the new, making the transition smoother for fans of the franchise. While the reboot promises a fresh take on the Kick-Ass universe, integrating Aaron Taylor Johnson in some capacity could enrich the narrative, providing continuity and depth to the story. As of now, all these ideas are speculative, but they offer exciting possibilities for the future of the franchise. If Vaughn decides to explore these options, it could make for a compelling blend of old and new, keeping the Kick-Ass legacy alive in a new and dynamic way. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.